Hey folks, and welcome to another Tip Tuesday. My name is Henry Arth, your Quality Assurance Analyst. And today I kind of wanted to do a continuation on a theme that Senior Developer Ben Sykes did at the end of December. And that would be concerning our alarm module and sending emails and calibration due notifications without attachments. That's right. You now have the ability to send HTML embedded emails to your customers with the list right there in the email so they don't have to open an attachment, which might also be helpful for some of you folks out there who have customers who really will actually have those attachments blocked. So the requirements here, you have to be in at least version 12.2.5 in order to have this functionality. Current release as of today is 12.2.6, so get up to date. You also have to have access in your client to Layout Builder, Print Builder, as well as the alarm module. So let's go ahead and get started. First place I would probably start would be in your Layout Builder here. So go ahead and click on that, open it up. And once that's open, you're going to go on the layouts on the left-hand side all the way to the bottom, email layouts, okay? So if you haven't made one of these before, it's really basic. You have merge items in there, and that can become your actual email body that you send. So that has always been there, but we've given some more merge items to be able to embed HTML grids. So I've already created this for the sake of expediency, but let's just go ahead and open that one. Nothing too special about it, really. I put the you can put your company logo in there, any kind of graphics, your A2LA or anything like that. Up in there to make it look really nice, kind of acting as a header for your email. You have the access to the merge items. If you're breaking out, and in this video I'm going to show an alarm that breaks out by company. So if you're doing that, then your search needs to basically, you can't really necessarily depend upon too many things working for you except for the group of merge items under company there. So I've just included the company full name to show that it's working, as well as you're going to notice grid data in there, and you're going to see why in Print Builder, but you need to have that in there in order to tell the actual layout where to embed the HTML grid. So if you don't have that in there, again, we're going to hit this in a second, but if you don't have that in there, it's just automatically going to push it to the bottom of the page. So once you have that kind of looking more or less how you want to and testing with it, that's great. Moving on now to Print Builder. And in Print Builder, we're going to be using General Equipment Report, okay? Now, you'll know that if you use the alarms that the company breakout before 12.2.5 was primarily for standard reports. And standard reports are good, and they do a number of things very well, but they're old looking, some of them, some of the default functionality you might have. So you might really like this change, and it gives you, again, the same functionality of the breakouts. So if you go on the left side here, General Reports under Equipment, I went ahead and created one. If I were going to make a suggestion, if you haven't created one of these yet, you probably haven't since I'm making a video on this and it's a very recent release. You might make a copy of the calibration due this month, but again, the process is going to be the same for creating it. If you're familiar with these at all, this should be very easy. So double click on the HTML test report. And you're going to notice right away, we definitely have a different setting here. We have our grid. So whatever you want in your grid, add it here. No matter if you're using the email or whatever, that's just how this works, right? You click on this little guy here, and it's going to tell you, what fields you want to show. That's pretty much it. However you put them in there and save it is how it's going to show up. So then the other part that we need to do before is make sure our filter is correct. So I have calibration due date within next month. So it's February. Let's send it for March. And then I'm going to click on the Options tab to modify some of the properties of this search. And a couple new things in here. For output options, you're going to notice email only. Email only is what you want selected here, or at least have that ability. That's how you're going to get that little email tab for previewing and have this all kind of come together. So you want that checked. I unchecked everything else. By the way, HTML file, email, those have always been there. Those are attachments still. That is not the same thing. Then if you go down to the bottom to email options, this is a brand new portion. And not to get too confusing here, but you're going to notice that there's an email subject and an email body and a layout, all of these options. This is actually independent. Most of this is independent of the alarm module. So kind of like in standard reports, you can have like basically a filter, but the one in the alarm module is the one that wins. Well, sort of similar for these items here. You can actually launch this report per search by and then send the report manually, right? So that's what these settings are here for and what they'll get automatically populated for. Now at the bottom, you're going to notice available merge items for subject, email, text body. Because these can be launched in a number of different ways, we can't say, hey, these are all going to work. All of these different merge items, like all the company information, all the gauge information. So got kind of a more limited, I would say better for internal purposes than external sending, maybe you might say. As you can see, you don't have your company name available in any of these or their company names or full names or anything like that. So just keep that in mind here. And the HTML email body, again, we want to reference that layout that we created in Layout Builder just a few minutes ago. That's your drop-down list. We're going to use the HTML layout. This is just explaining the grid data portion that I already went over in the Layout Builder. And then you have a couple of options. If you use simple layout, the simple layout is going to put that grid and basically give a fixed size for the email body for your different rows and columns, as opposed to auto width. It's going to kind of try to be smart and size down. And then if somebody basically scales out their browser, then it's going to get bigger. If they go make it smaller, then the grid's going to get smaller with it. If you just have like 4 or 5 fields, that might be the way to go. But if you're really packing a bunch of information in there, I might recommend the simple layout, but again, it's up to you. You can do some testing and check it out. So once you're done with that, and you want to maybe test a few other items here, you can press OK. I'm going to go ahead and select this equipment, and it's already selected actually. And then I can go to this email tab, and it's going to show me approximately what this is going to look like. So I've got all my fields. It looks really nice. And this is just what your email is going to be. Your logo, whatever it is, this is exactly more or less what it's going to look like. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and save and close. And on to the final portion. The final portion is going to be the alarm module. And give me a second while I pull that up. There we go. And I just created a brand new one. Yeah, again, always encourage testing to make sure it's doing exactly what you want to do. But when we open that up, you're going to see a new section here down in the lower right-hand corner, middle right, Equipment Search Report. That is going to be referencing the Print Builder search that you just created. So the alarm will actually point to the HTML test report, which is the Print Builder document or search, and it will also reference the actual layout here in Layout Builder. So go ahead and press Next once you have it selected. Set your time, and then again, just like standard reports, you're going to be able to send separate email notifications based upon company. You've also got this other drop-down list of a bunch of other options, but for this, I think the most common scenario for a lot of our commercial labs out there, they're breaking out by company. So let's just keep it there. Everything else is the same. The only other part, and again, just want to avoid confusion here, in your actual email distribution rule, which is where you tell this rule who to fire to and what it's supposed to say, you're going to notice that I have a different email subject and a different place where I can enter the email layout. That's because the alarm settings override whatever is going to be referenced if you were going to launch the search report just from the client itself. So if it's the same thing, great. If they're different, that's fine too. But this is what your alarm is going to be paying attention to here, okay? So you will have some more functionality here because you can see these merge items. Again, those were not referenced previously in the Print Builder, but now you have access to all of your company merge fields here. So when you're breaking out by company, you can put the full name, you can put all those stuff in the email subject as well. The email layout, it will reference those as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm sending this to the main company email. And that's really about it. The rest should just be clockwork. So I'm going to go ahead and send this, pause it till I get it, and then we're going to look at the results. Okay, it came over into my Gmail, And as you can see here, we've got our list, and we've got the logo at the top, and it's broken out by the customer. You can see the company merge items are actually kind of pulling in there. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions on this. I hope you all find this very useful moving forward, and happy calibrating.